What's up, everybody? This is Limitz bringing you guys another high-level Halo Wars 2v2 video. This game's going to be against Heartshark and Jake is B3AST, and I'm playing with Limitzoffstate. And this matchup's going to be Anders Arby against Cutter Brute on the docks. And there is a lot of debate over which combo is actually better for this map. And I lean more towards Cutter Brute being the better combo for this map. My reasoning behind Cutter Brute being a better combo for the map is because Cutter can push out quick tanks on this map, and Anders only has one way to funnel her hogs. And not only that, but the Brute going on offense on this map early is going to force the Arbiter to stay over on his side of the map, and Anders is going to try and probably shut down the Cutter from getting tanks out. But she also needs to do a good job of spawn locking a Brute on this map as well. And you have to have a really solid Anders player to be able to do all of that. Or you can try and play double defense, but I actually don't think double defense works at all. I know there are some people who think that double defense is viable, but to me it's not viable, because if you play double defense on a chieftain, the Cutter is going to have tanks out by the time you push back, and the Brute will be able to get his summits up without them being kept down. So you're just going to get steamrolled if you play double defense. And so what I'm going to show you guys here is a dual system of offense-defense here. Basically what's going to happen is Limitzoffstate, my Anders player, he's going to have the burden on his shoulders to hold down tanks and the Brute as far as spawn locking and keeping vehicle depots down. It's more of a delayed Goss and Grenadier build, but it's still very effective. It's basically just spamming gunner hogs for the longest time. And I'm going to be in control of keeping down our side of the map and playing some solid defense on my base or Limitzoffstate's base. So anyways, I do a little bit of a scout here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be keeping my ghost on the Brute's base right in front of it, or if needed, I'll be moving my ghost around to one of the UNSC bases. That's pretty much just to make sure that we know where vehicle depots are getting up, where turrets are getting up, or if the Brute is going to unlock. And that's just more eyes on the map for Livin to do his job offensively. Now right here, I see the Brute was heading to my base. Initially I thought he was going to hit the expansion. Turns out he's not going to. He's going straight to my base. And I'm just getting in rage mode because I think he's going to unlock. But Limitzoffstate is actually doing a really good job of scaring him from unlocking. He's keeping his hogs near the front of the Brute's base while keeping down vehicle depots as well. He's doing a good job of splitting his hogs. You can see on the mini-map that he did have them split momentarily there at the beginning. And he does have line of sight right there of the front of the Brute's base, which I'm also keeping an eye on, just in case he tries to unlock. So he does end up unlocking finally here, and I am going to get my ghost out of there, and Limitzoffstate is going to try and get a few rams off. I'm not sure why my Arbiter did not follow the chieftain right there, so I do have to rage over to rage the Brutes. But that's not going to be a problem. I'm going to be effectively killing these Brutes before they get enough damage done on this supply pad. And as you can see, since I wasn't really hit, I was able to boom up with my Arbiter and get Citadel really quickly and a summit. And with this, I can go build a few Banshees, or if I need to, seeing as the Brute is still quite a ways behind me, I could go straight into Vampires in a typical situation if that Brute is already on his Citadel trying to get his summit up. As you can see, I do have the eco to go straight into Vamps at this point. But I'm not going to go straight into Vamps this game simply because I'm ahead of the Brute. I can build Banshees and Grunts and get right on offense, which is what I'm going to do since we did force a recall. So once again, it's not really about playing Anders and sitting back and teching up your hogs and then coming in once you have Grenadier or Goss. If you spam a whole bunch of gunners against another brute, so if you're playing against an Anders brute combo and you're running Anders Arby, if you just spam a whole bunch of gunner like this, the Arbiter can run up on offense and pretty much help out with the hogs, and you can shut down a Anders brute combo pretty easily. Also, with the way I play defense going straight into vamps like that, if Limitzoffstate was playing Cutter and I was playing the Arby there, it would basically shut down the Banshee threat early game, and we'd have tanks to stop the hogs. So just goes to show kind of how to stop like an Anders brute, although this is a Cutter brute combo that we are running up against. And I saw that Limitzoffstate was holding down the summits of Jaka's Beast, so I basically ported in my grunts and my Banshee here, and I'm going to take out this vehicle depot, and we do see that he did get a tank out, so I'm going to have to rage that tank down. And once again, as I already mentioned, Limitzoffstate doesn't get Goss very quickly this game. It's more of the, you have to kind of delay your tech on your hogs and get your hog numbers up just so you can stop vehicle depots on this map. That's basically how you're going to want to stop a quick tank. You can't afford to just tech because then you don't have enough hogs to do anything. And right here I'm going to have a little bit of a, I guess, bad moment, raging. I get stuck in between these pads here, and it's going to take me forever to rage this tank, and then I'm just going to start bouncing all over the place. But whatever. This was definitely my 1 minute of shame this game. But we are able to effectively get that tank. As you can see, the brute is going to try and get wraiths out, it looks like. The game is pretty much over at this point because every single tank that Heartshark is going to be able to get out, I'm going to be able to rage. And air's not going to be a problem since we do have Goss. And I am single pumping Banshees, but since I've been raging so much, I'm not really pumping right now. And so I finally see where that tank is heading. I'm going to go over to his main base here and try and catch it. And it's at this point when Livin finally has Goss. It's once again a later Goss, but just as effective. And the Chieftain alone with Vortex, even though it's a teched up Chieftain, is not going to be able to effectively stop Goss hogs, which is why any Arby combo with the UNSC is going to be better against fighting hogs than a brute combo with the UNSC. And so I finally get my Arby full tech 1, and Limitzoffstate's going to heal me over here in the corner. I'm going to sit in rage mode just in case a tank wanders over here if they saw me. And Limitzoffstate's going to drive by there. I get a good line of sight about what's around me so I don't have to waste any money in rage mode. And this is the point where I'm just like, well, I'm not going to build Banshees, so I might as well just get an extra supply pad going and go all Arby. But while I was getting this heal, I think Heartshark actually amounted to get 2 or 3 tanks. So I am going to have to go back in there and help Livin out with the tanks really quickly. And that's when I'm going to get D-bombed here. And that's actually going to be a very poorly placed D-bomb. I'm not sure what really prompted him to drop it at that moment. I wasn't trapped between any tanks. He really didn't have that many tanks out, as you could see. And it's in between all 3 bases. So I'm going to be able to hit all 3 bases still effectively with the Goss and my Arbiter, and I can pretty much protect the Goss still. And since I'm half health here and I have quite a chunk of money sitting in my pocket, I'm going to just start raging this base to gain some health. Normally I could probably save up for Tech 2 right now. This would probably be the time to get a Tech 2 Arby, but since he doesn't have canister shell and the game's pretty much over, I'm in no hurry to really do that this game. And the D-bomb's gone, so I'm going to be effectively raging this turret. And that's pretty much the end of this game, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed it and have a great day.